Alright, hello everyone, welcome back. We only have a few more deals left to complete, and besides that, as you know, I think we should be able to get this um, reward board quest done, and I think part of it has to do with these deals. Because if you look at these deals, there's this thing, Hairy Crown, that's dropped by Arthros in Fjordwoods. This one's by a dragon in Shambhala. Some of these we have fought, but they didn't really drop anything. So I think it's a bit of luck as well. Harry Otter, Arcant Archipelago. Interesting. And these are Perpetua and Kotara, so they all seem to be in unique locations. Huh. Very strange. Okay. But it looks like we haven't come across some of these. I can't remember what Arthros even is in the Fjordwoods. So let's try to do the dragon first and see if we get some of these item drops. So I'm just gonna cut to the boss battles and we'll see how we figure these out. Let's get to it. Right, so this should be the dragon that they're referring to. Let me just check the volume here. Alright, I think that should be just right. Let's get the attack up. Go into attack, and let's actually go to gear 2 and get a defensive break here just to stay out of the overheat. You can turn on counter, you could enact it. This is going to enact salvo here. That should help us. Right, got the offensive buff. Let's get the defensive buff, because I think this thing can do some AoE. So what is your weakness? No weakness, really. Kind of scary. Oh, there we go, we got it. Shimmering Scale. So was that the item we needed for the deal? It might be. I'm just gonna go back to Hermits to see. I'm sure there's a vendor that's nearer to a crystal, but I can't remember it. This dude, right? Okay. Deals. Shimmering Scale. Okay, so if we sell loot. Yes, it works. Okay, so we got that boss. Harry Crown, Arthros. Alright, let's go and look for Arthros in the Fjordwoods. I'll be back. So the requirements for Arthros, I had to look it up because I have freaking no idea, no memory of this place. Unlike Gandalf or whatever. But apparently to do this quest, you gotta go around a very specific tree and beat Excalibur. And the funny thing is, I actually came across Excalibur by chance. I was just running around the woods, I think, looking for the missing chest or whatever. And I actually came across Excalibur the first time and I had no idea how to respawn it. So when I looked it up, turns out you gotta run around this tree a few times and that's how it spawns. So apparently there's more to it than that. You gotta do Excalibur and that's how you get a chance to spawn Arthros. So, and also you cannot teleport to Arthros. You gotta do things in a very specific order to get to it. And it's fine if you fight this eyeball thingy, it doesn't really matter. Excalibur will still spawn. There it is. Okay. So we gotta beat Excalibur apparently first. Okay, just great. It's going to physical resist. Fine. Just an extra turn to beat you. Right, so after beating it, now we just gotta run across to where Arthros spawns. We'll take on this thing, sure. Opener is great. You can pop most of these enemies pretty easily. So I've actually made Micah my staple and put Sienna out of business. I know it kind of feels a bit painful. I'm actually just testing Raphael, but I think Sienna might be a good, like Sienna's better than Raphael by all means. But I'm just keeping him just to try him out. But I think my final team would be having Sienna in Raphael's spot, and that would sort of be the final party against the final boss and whatnot. I still think Sienna gives a lot more value than Raphael. But anyway, more of that later. Let's just go around. So apparently I gotta get on the bridge above me. So to get there, I probably gotta beat these two guys to get across. Right? Was there another entrance to the bridge? I swear I can't remember. Right, no worries. Let's just get through these guys. These are not that difficult. Let's defensive crush them, and then Glenn should be able to just clear them here. Yeah, Glenn's damage is just absolutely monstrous. You think Sienna hits hard? Nah, Glenn hits harder. It's just not even a competition for me. Alright, we gotta go up here. So apparently the little shit spawns somewhere on top of this thing. It's like a little weasel or something like that. So let's just keep an eye out for it. It should appear somewhere. No. Yes. No. Oh! Was it there? I don't remember whether I saw it there physically. It's a weakness to water. Is this thing scary? I'm just gonna open her here. Yeah, no, that didn't take much to beat it. It also didn't spawn anything. So that might be a bit of a problem. So what if I go down here and go back up? Does it respawn it? No, it doesn't. So I do need to farm it somehow. Oh man, that's gonna be very tough, isn't it? Because I don't think it dropped the thing that it's supposed to. Uh, Forest from Wind. Yeah, it didn't drop what we wanted. So we got to retry the loop. Or I'll try it again. I'll be back in a bit. Alright, I got it to spawn again. I had to go through the loop with Excalibur. I'm not sure whether I can just run back or what. But I did teleport back to the crystal earlier and did it from there. So let's beat it again. This time it actually didn't die. Okay. Hairy Crown. Okay, I think that is the item that we gotta get. Let's go back to Hermits and let's settle this deal. There we go, we got it. Okay. So now we got two more deals. Otter Owl. Hairy Otter. Arcant Archipelago. Really? There's such a thing? Arcant Archipelago. Hairy Otter. Okay, so what would be the requirements to spawn a hairy otter? I can't remember if there was a guy here who was part of the guild. There should be. But where was the guild guy? I'm not too sure. Sure, the guild guy can't be hiding somewhere. Okay, just double check this area. I doubt it's on this island. We checked this island quite thoroughly before. Thing is, some of these things don't spawn unless you're like on the ground, so that's also a bit of a tricky thing to know. Sea monks are there. Okay. Okay, we did that island. This island, sure. Sure. Guild person, anyone? No. Uh, guild person, guild person. No, 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 no. Hmm. You don't happen to know about a Harry Otter, would you? Whale. Those flying wheels actually creep me out, not gonna lie. Like, something that big flying around is actually super creepy in real life. That would just be absolutely terrifying. Okay. Alright, I gotta look this up. I have no idea where this thing spawns. Let me check. Alright, this is a very interesting requirement. So apparently to spawn this thing, you've got to have a all magic starter lineup. This is a very interesting requirement. So let's see whether this works. And it works. That's Harry Otter. Alright, let's see what you can do. Dog shot, huh? You know what, let's just hit you. I want to see. Okay, no, never mind. Okay, I think we completed it. That was very straightforward. So the spawn requirements are the tricky part. Like if you missed a note or you forgot where you met the guy or the guild person who gives you the requirements, you pretty much have to go around looking for it. But there we go, we got it. Ultimate robes, very nice. Now this last one, Humphrey the Hungry and Dwelly of the Valley. Humphrey the Hungry. Okay, let me just write that down. Humphrey the Hungry and Dwelly of the Valley. Right, just write those. Alright, I'm gonna go and look for Mr. Humphrey first, I guess. Perpetua flower fields. Wow, really? Let's just land here and try. Alright, I found the guy, and the clue he gave me is actually kind of like I've actually seen this thing. I've seen the sand actually doing some weird stuff in the desert here. So I think I know what he's talking about. Sometimes I see the sand actually doing some strange swirly motion. So yeah, this one. Oh no, crap! You didn't. What happened? Okay. I just need to find that swirly thingy, right? No, those are the sharks. I can escape from you guys? Okay, I can. Okay, no, I don't want the sharks. I need the swirly sand thingy. As I just saw it. Okay, there we go. We found it. So are you Humphrey? Okay, Humphrey the Hungry. Interesting. Wow, okay. The amount of unique mini bosses is absolutely amazing in this game. Alright, let's break your defense and just get to work here. I think Glenn might be able to just one-shot this. He should be out leveling you. Oh yeah, hell yeah. We gotta complete the bestiary quest and defeat all unique monsters as well. Holy shit, we did it. Okay, but did we get the item that's required from it? Uh... No, no, I can't remember if this is the item that's needed. Um... Perpetua here. No, back down here. Crap, what am I doing? I'm actually looking for the nearest vendor. I can't remember which one it is. Fearwoods, nah. I think Perpetua used to have a vendor pretty close to the north side. You? Oh yeah, yeah, you're pretty near. That's nice. Okay. I sell the loots. No, he didn't drop it. Sandy Tooth. Humphrey the Hungry. Yeah, it didn't drop it, so we gotta go back to try that again. Oh, that's fine. This is the first time we're actually trying on this boss, so we might as well take it on a few times. We out-leveled it significantly as well, so it's a pretty easy farm for us. Alright, let's see where you are, Humphrey. Right, so we know where you spawn, somewhere around this place. You've seen the bubbles there. Okay, just keep an eye out. How are these people feeling so safe with this thing out and about here? It's crazy. It should be terrifying. Huge nidus worm sort of thing. Shy Hulud in this part of the sand. And these guys just chilling. Oh, come on. I thought I should have got the worm instead. Fine. We'll just nuke these. Come on. You can't kill these? Really? Are they that tough? What are they, like Jolteon or something? No, actually Ponyta, Rapidash, right? But they do electric attacks. Don't think Pokemon had electric horse. Okay, come on. Where are you, Shy Hulud? Oh, okay, fine. We got it. Okay. Alright, go straight into Hornet Dance here. One hit, that's absolutely miserable. Defensive break. And what are you weak to? Light. Well, we don't have that. Hit you with your own element. It didn't drop it. No, I didn't drop it. We gotta try to spawn it again, I guess. Good thing is the area is quite near. I don't know whether just going on and off screen spawns it or whether I have to teleport back here. I'm not sure whether going off screen works here. Oh yeah, it does, I think. Yeah, I saw it. So it is spawning. So that's good. So this won't be a very difficult farm as long as it drops the materials I need it to drop. Okay, I think I know its pattern. So it appears there, and then here. Oh wait, what? Why isn't it showing up? It's not showing up? Is that a bug? I'm not sure. Is it a bug? Why didn't it show up? Or do I actually have to teleport and come back here? Yeah, it's not spawning. Okay, so let me go there. Okay, let me try to get this thing back. Right, come on, Shy Hulud, please drop me what I want. Okay, that sucks. I think we got it. I think the quest needed 2 Sandy Tooth, not just 1. Okay, anyway, we need to teleport back to this guy, so we might as well check with him. Two Sandy Tooth and 2 Curling Eye. And we only have 1 Sandy Tooth. Yeah, okay. So back to it. Right, give me a tooth. Give me a tooth. Yeah. I didn't drop it. Okay, it's gonna be a bit tricky. I'm trying to get the tooth. Right, we got the sandy tooth. So that took about actually almost 10 tries. I think it was about the 9th try or something. But it's not that bad. I mean, I played games where farming is like the last thing you want to do, and this it's just not. It's not as taxing, trust me. Uh, so let's sell all of these. Check the deal. There we go. We got 2 of these. Last one is Dwelly of the Valley, Kotara Mountain Range. Okay, we go look for that. Okay, I remember I've actually done this one before. So to do this, you gotta be at this location on the map. And then I landed here just to see if there's a way down or something, but instead, land here. This thing shows up. Yep, okay. Just gotta beat you harder then. Surprised you didn't drop anything the last time. Right, if you get it. Crimson something. Right, I think we gotta get 2 of these, right? So let's just spawn one more time here. And try to get this thing done. Wait, isn't there a vendor? There's a vendor right here, so I can check with this guy. Okay, sell. Curling eye deals. There we go. So one more curling eye. Oh, that's very convenient. Dude is right here. Landing point is right here. There we go. This is gonna be an easy one. Okay. Piercer. Curling eye. Oh, it survived somehow. Sweet lord, it does a bunch of things. Too bad we never knew. It didn't drop? Okay, it didn't drop. Okay. Let's try that one more time. Okay, there we go. Again, it's a very conveniently placed for sure, compared to some of the other enemies that I've fought. We got it. Come back to Hermit's Isle. And that should unlock the last deal in the game. There we go. Buy all deals. Bargain Hunter. We got that as well. And we got this as well. So we've got every achievement in the game. That's freaking awesome. Now let me just check whether Steam has any achievements remaining. So Steam only has one more, and it's called Complete the Reward Board. But it's not completing, which is weird because I have completed the reward board. So what else do I have to do? Complete the reward board. Huh. That's weird. Let me take a look at this and see if I can figure it out. So I'm just trying to reload the game again. See whether it changes. Doesn't seem to take effect. Maybe I gotta restart Steam or something. Maybe it's my location. Huh. Sys journal reward board. Yeah, no, doesn't seem to be completing it. Let me try this again. I only got one Steam achievement left. That's basically it. Then we pretty much have completed this game 100%. We've already defeated the final boss of this. No real reason to do that again. So let me just try to get the last achievement, then I can wrap up this game. But holy shit, this has been absolutely amazing. I will be giving a review in this episode as well, but let me just try to get this last achievement. Right, so I've arrived in Torment to see whether talking to this guild person will change anything. Arthros, okay, so we get some rewards, okay. Humphrey the Hungry, okay, yes, these are the new bosses we just fought. No more Harry Otter, okay. And that's it. Still no achievement. Uh, yeah, still no achievement. Do you sell anything good? Oh, they do sell Divine Wool. Holy shit. Bloodstone, let's take 5 of those. Ancient Carcass. Emperor's Hide. Do I need these? I think I do, but you know what, we'll just buy those first. Can actually do some crafting here. Get some upgrades. So it looks like the guild shop actually sells quite a number of things that we need. Maybe we'll focus on these first. So let's see. Oh yeah, we need all of these for the upgrades. Let's upgrade you. Let's upgrade you. Sure. They don't do much damage, but sure, whatever. The rest are upgraded. Armor. Let's upgrade the ring mail, +2. Maximilian, we got 2 +2s. We need Emperor's Hide. And this one can be upgraded once, twice. Okay. So we got 2 of these. We need Divine Wool, Emperor's Hide, Rainbow Ancient. Sure. Oops, wrong place. I think completing quests is what allows us to sort of fulfill this. Let's see. Okay, we don't have that. Do I need Rainbow and Adamantite? I don't think so. I think it's just Emperor's Hide, Divine Wool. These things, basically. Yeah. Okay. Armor. Otter Nobunaga, we can easily farm that one. These ones a little bit tricky. Rainbow ore. Sure. Yeah, okay, anyway, we have pretty much beat the game and completed everything. I just have one Steam achievement that for some reason has not been delivered to me. Kind of upset about that. I think it's the last achievement in the game. Complete the reward board. Reward cartel boss. If we have that, we pretty much have 100% this game, which is super cool. But yeah, we just gotta know why that last one is not completing. Other than that, we pretty much have completed the game, so thanks so much for watching. I think if I were to review this game based on everything that's happened, this is one of the best JRPG games I've ever played in my life. I will be playing Octopath 2 after this. I played Octopath 1 before, haven't tried the second one, so... but let me tell you, story-wise, this beats almost every JRPG I've ever played. It's a very straightforward story. It's kind of linear. It doesn't really have divergent paths, so that's one weakness I would say. But it's overall epic, and also its overarching story. Also the characters and the lands and the lore. This is approaching like Game of Thrones levels of drama and storytelling. It's really beautiful. It's very well done, very crafted. All the characters are unique, interesting, very mature storytelling. Nothing. It doesn't really hold back and make you feel like it wants to hold your hand and babysit you and make you feel safe and special. It doesn't really do that. Like, it really goes all out and throws things in your face if it wants to shake you or scare you. And especially Glenn and Len's story, you thought it was going to be a perfect love story, but then there's a very insane plot twist, which is what you would want in these kinds of stories, which is to throw you off, and he does it pretty well. So the heroes, the villain is it's a rare. It is a story that I've read before, obviously, because I've just read so many things, but um, it is rare and it's very nice that it's done so well in this very beautifully crafted RPG. In terms of the combat mechanics and the skills are really good for some characters. I feel like maybe they overdo certain skills because some skills just become redundant after some time, so there could be better balancing. But hey, which JRPG doesn't suffer from balancing problems, right? They all do. So I would say it's done pretty well. It's not the best, but it's still pretty good compared to most JRPGs I've played. I would say it's among the better ones I've played. Um, and if I compare to the recent ones that came out, like Sea of Stars, this is definitely better. There's no doubt about it. This is just straight up better than Sea of Stars. The only thing it will lose is in terms of its graphics, because this is simpler pixel graphics. But that's not to say it isn't beautiful. Like, look at the texture in some of these simple things, like just the well, right? They could have done this easily by just copying assets online, and so you can't give full points for some of these stuff because I know it's made by one person, and it's just difficult for one person to beat a company or an organization that's just much larger than them. But considering all that, this is such a beautiful game. I absolutely love it. I think if I were to rate it out of 10, the music is okay in this game. It's not the best I've heard, as I said. The way I judge music is if a game's music is so good, I would want to save that music to my favorites and listen to it like years down the road. And there's some games I play that I still have that kind of music that's in my playlist that I go back to just because the music is so freaking awesome. And I know you guys know what I'm talking about, right? So for me, I love the music in this game, don't get me wrong, but it's just not the kind that I would go back to a few years down and just listen to just for the music. Like, oh my God, do you remember that Chain of Echoes music? I really want to listen to it again. That's not going to be the case here. So it's probably like a half point for the music and a half point for the graphics. So that brings it down to an 8 out of 10. And then for the combat mechanics, I think the one thing that was, I would say, not quite well done is the overdrive mechanic. Now, if I go to the overdrive mechanic here, it has an idea, a very unique concept, but it doesn't do it so well because it forces specific playstyles. And the thing is, a lot of the skills that the characters have, as I said, are not so well balanced. So there are times where you just don't want to do certain skills, even though it may or may not benefit you. Like, for example, Poetic's really good. Doing it again is just going to increase its duration, right? But at that point, you might just want to stack another buff instead. So you're gonna either switch your character to see whether there's another skill they want to use to stay with an overdrive or not. But the overdrive doesn't affect you enough to say that taking a little bit extra damage is going to hurt you so much. Very rare boss fights where that's the case. Maybe at the highest difficulty in the game, that might be a thing. I haven't played it at the highest difficulty. So maybe if I New Game Plus this at the highest difficulty, the overdrive becomes its own little mini game where you gotta be really strict or you're gonna die just because your overdrive is a little bit off balance. At most, this is an inconvenience. It doesn't really make it fun or fulfilling for you to know that because you're in the overdrive, you can do certain things. And that would be my other kind of weak point in this game. And I think most people agree that the overdrive and overheat thing was a little bit overdone, pun intended, just to make there be like an extra mini game. But I would say the concept is great. It's just the execution was a little bit weak. And I think I like the concept because you do want games which forces the players to do a variety of moves, and this is not a game which encourages you to farm. Only at the very end game when you want to complete certain items like what I'm trying to do, where you do have to do certain bosses repeatedly. But for most of the game, just progressing through it gives you all the items. I didn't have to plus two most of my items until certain points in the game. Like only the end. I haven't plus two any of my items until the very end game when I know that 10-star items is the maximum I'm gonna get, right? So before I got this 10-star Durandal, I've never maxed any other item to plus two. It's always been plus one only. So and again, you must understand that I'm not playing at the highest difficulty. Things might be different at the highest difficulty, so that's another thing. But in terms of complexity and just enemy variety and whatnot, there are a lot of enemies that do cool things, amazing animations, amazing skills. But I feel like not all of them have a mechanic that makes you think twice. I would say because there's so many enemies in the game, I would say that if I go to like my bestiary, let's just go to field enemies or whatever, right? There are very rare field enemies that make you think. Like for example, very early on you meet the Salava, which makes you think a little bit, but it's easy to beat, so it's not a big deal. And then I think the birds, no, birds are not really a big deal. This one's a bit difficult the first time. There's no other way around it unless you just out level it or something. Let me see. Okay, so dungeon enemies. So some of these dungeon enemies have unique mechanics, and you really got to think about them. Which one? Let me see. Hmm. Hmm. Maybe Bakis with their counter, but that's also something you can easily think. It's not really. Like, I can outthink most of this pretty straightforward. Let's see. Special enemies. Okay, special enemies definitely have unique mechanics. I think these are done pretty well. So there's about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17 special enemies. I would say that you can beat like 10 of these easily first time. And then the other 7, you got to think a little bit. If you're good, I think most of these I just beat them first time. Maybe 1 or 2 took me like 2 tries. What can I think of that took me 2 tries among these? The frog. The frog was really difficult, but that's also because we had to outlevel the frog a little bit. Attack the yak is also difficult. I kind of just threw myself in to see what happens and I died. Is the carrot here? The carrot was pretty insane. There we go. This thing. This thing is absolutely insane. Okay, among the bosses itself, so these are special enemies. They're not really, these are like mini bosses, but these are the bosses. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. I'm gonna count these two. Yeah, 40, that's fine. That's 50. Okay, so there's about I would say 65 bosses. Some of these are like combined bosses, some of these like combined, these two are combined. And this whole thing is a combined sort of boss, tank healer, magician, Vayne and whatnot, right? So yeah, it's about 60, 65 bosses in this game, which is absolutely amazing for an RPG game to just come across so many unique random bosses that you gotta take your own time to figure out and challenge them and whatnot. So it's been super fun. As you can see, I've spent like 92 hours in this game. Of course, some of it is idle time. Sometimes I just left the game on. There's like I think a day or two, which I did. So probably I spent about 60 to 70 hours, close to 60 hours, I would say, in this game. Maybe a little bit more because I was just spending time looking through the skills and trying to study the inventory. But it's fun because you get to explore, you get to go through stuff and learn a bit more about this game. But yeah, out of this 60 odd bosses, I would say you can beat 30 of them first time without any question. The other 30, you got to think a little bit. But I would say there are about 15, 10, or like at least a dozen of these bosses that I got to try at least twice because they were quite difficult. I think Raphael had to try twice, Eva maybe. Some of these bosses are absolutely ridiculously powerful. You got to try a few times to do it. The final one, I actually beat the final boss in the first try. Funny enough, right? Like I had to try more for some of the other smaller bosses, but the final boss I just beat it first try, which is absolutely insane. So I would say bosses and mechanics wise is really, really fun. This game's battle mechanics are pretty freaking awesome. Aside from overdrive, everything else worked really, really well. The equipment is where the game really wants you to spend time on. It wants you to really mix and match the crystal slots and try to optimize your items and whatnot. But again, the crystals are not a high priority for the difficulty I'm playing in. Maybe in the highest it would do a lot more, but it's kind of cool to know that you have that challenge if you want to take it on. And knowing that this game has a new game plus, and as I said before, I rarely play new game plus, but this might be one of those games where I actually hop into it because of how much I've learned to like this game, and probably will do it after a long break. It might be off stream as well, so I won't be recording it. But I've had so much fun that this is going to be special to my heart. So overall, I'm going to rate this game a 7 out of 10. It's what it is. But I love this game so much. For me personally, this is a 10 out of 10. One of the best JRPGs I've ever played in my life. And to me, right now, this is my most favorite. Until I play Octopath 2, this is going to remain my favorite. And I have a feeling even after Octopath 2, this might still be my favorite, knowing for the fact that this was made by an indie developer, which is absolutely insane. You know, the guy probably had like a handful of help because I saw the credits list. There's a reasonable list, and most of them are donors. The actual people who worked on the game is probably like a dozen, 2 dozen at most. And most of this game, like 80%, I think, is built by a single person, with some help for resources, music, atmosphere, writing, I'm sure, and whatnot. But man, Matthias Linda, you did a brilliant job with this RPG, and it's really very encouraging to have games like this for indie developers because, quite frankly, I'd rather play 10 indie games like this than one AAA game. There's no doubt about it. I would buy 10 of these indie games for the price point that this game is at and just breeze through all of it than to buy one AAA and be disappointed. Um, because if you just multiply this game's price to a AAA will cost at least around 4 to 5 times more than this game, and it would not be 4 to 5 times more better than this game. There's no way that there is a AAA that's 4 or 5 times better than a game like this. So yeah, by comparison, this game overall in its scope for its price point is absolutely amazing. For its price point, it's a 10. But if I were to just judge this game, I'll probably give it a 7. So that's where I stand. But it has been absolutely amazing. If you guys want to check out my final boss battle, go ahead and take a look at my other episodes. But this one is just me trying to complete the reward board, and I've done it. We pretty much have got every Steam achievement in the game, except the last one is not triggering for some reason. I don't know why. I hope it triggers overnight or something, just so I can sleep peacefully. But we have no other deals to purchase, and we pretty much got most of our items upgraded. At this point, we can just farm the final boss or whatever if we want to again. Uh, but yeah, I'll just wrap this up as an episode. Thanks so much for watching, guys. It's been great. If you guys have not checked this out, please go ahead and try Chained Echoes for yourself. It is an absolutely amazing game. It's very reasonably priced. It takes about 40 to 50 hours to actually finish the game. If you're having fun, a lot more than that. I spent a lot more time in this game, about 70 to 80 hours at least, because I was just trying to figure out all the formations and whatnot. If you don't want to optimize your party, you could just breeze through this in 40 hours easily. And there's also a part of the side quest and post game which you can do before you actually take on the final boss, which I'm only doing after the final boss. So you can actually try to complete this before you take on the final boss, and you'll probably have a good amount of fun trying to wrap up some of these characters' stories. Because, for example, I did not know Micah was recruitable until after the final boss. So apparently, she's a character that you can figure out if you actually manage to recruit all of the people to your island and get your island to look like this, right? I think it's right before this. There's one iteration of the island right before this when everything's under construction. And I think you can go into this inn, and Micah shows up somewhere here, fighting with a bartender or something. So as you can see, Micah's here. So that's when you recruit. Micah, and her story is wonderful as well. It's very, very tied in with Tomki. Um, but I think among all the characters, of course, the best stories are for the main characters, which is Victor, Len, Glenn, and Killian. These guys have and Killian is actually a bigger part of the story. There's some spoilers there. If you want to check out the ending, please go ahead and check it out. But Killian actually plays a big role in the ending. But as for the side characters, I would say Rob's story is decent. It's actually a rich boy's kind of story because he's like a son of a king as well, and he's actually heir to the throne, but he doesn't take the responsibility. He gives up the throne just to end like a little war of sorts, which, if you ask me, is not the right thing. People need someone to look up to and someone to follow, and Rob just didn't really step up to it. Raphael's story is okay. Raphael's story is pretty tied in with Sienna, which are fine, whatever stories. Sienna's an interesting character. She's fun. She's got a great personality in the story and whatnot, but her overall story is just nothing. Doesn't carry too much weight. Amalia and Bathraz's story are pretty closely tied, but I think Bathraz's story is heavier because of the sacrifice he had to go through with his son. The only thing is that it's a bit cliche that he and his son both had to suffer the same thing at the same time. Like, they could have just had only Bathraz suffer, and we would have still understood what he had to go through. But to show that, oh, his son is now a part of his body or something. I mean, it's fine. It's just extra interesting. And Amalia's story is that her lifespan is short, so it's like it's okay. It's also whatever. Magnolia's story is also Pretty baseline, nothing truly special. The real core story to this game is between Len and Glenn, and then Victor and Killian, with some support for some of the other characters. But the dynamics between them are all great, which is what make them all feel special and unique. Um, but you are pretty set for some shocking revelations if you have not tried this. So I highly recommend this game, and thanks for checking out this channel. See you guys in the next game then. Thanks so much for watching. Take care. Alright, so I figured out why the reward board quest was not completing, because I'm blind, and there was actually one more quest, which is to survive 5 actions by earthworms on foot. And there's an irony in it. The irony is that blind is the best way to do it. Sienna's blade reflection combined with a bunch of silver lining basically means that there's a high chance you're going to survive 5 actions by these earthworms, so long as all 3 of them don't do the AoE attacks in the first turn. And we have completed it. I've got the achievement. I'm just going to escape from this battle to show you guys what that looks like. And there we go. That is the last of the chain. I'm going to claim that. And it did not trigger the Steam achievement, but it's okay. I have confidence if I reload, it should trigger. But just to show you guys what that looks like, we can do it again. I'm going to do a blade reflection here first. We have blinded the entire team. I tried a few things, but there's no way to tank this, so blinding them seems to be the optimal way. Paralyze doesn't count. They don't get an action, so paralyze doesn't really work. Sleep also doesn't really work, so the only way is to dodge it. And there's no way for me to guarantee dodge in this game per se, or increase dodge even. It's just only Sienna can do that, so everyone else just has to rely on blind. So blind seems to be the best thing. So here I am defending, and that one's a bit tricky. As you can see, there was already about 4, I think it's already 5 actions yeah, I think it's already 5 actions. But we can extend this further by just, for example, restoring Sienna if you wanted. And yeah, that already counts as 5 because Amalia's on the ground. There's the 5th action. But now that she's back, we can even try our luck to raise her, what do you call this, evasion. But you gotta set up some kind of speed buff as well. And most of those, like, unless you give a class emblem, the monk emblem, to someone else to set up speed for Sienna, there's no guarantee of dodge. But anyway, we're able to replicate it pretty easily. This is the simplest way to get this thing done. Now let me head back to Hermit's Isle. So this is a slightly older save, which means that there's certain items that I may not have completed, certain equipment that's not fully upgraded, but it doesn't really matter. I just won the achievement. So let me save and check out if I got the achievement. Alright, it's testing for the moment of truth. And I got it. You heard the sound. Reward Cartel Boss. Awesome. I can show you guys what that looks like. There we go. There's the list of the achievements. One of the few games that I've actually 100%. But Reward Cartel Boss, that is the final achievement that we were trying to get, and we have got it. And there's the rest of the board, which tells you these are the last few that I've collected. Compared to global achievements, that is, yeah, it's pretty cool, all things considered. So yeah, thanks for watching. That pretty much ends that. Awesome.